Okay, so I got a new AF10 here from Kuhns Manufacturing, and it's not put together yet. That's why it's flat. You know, this thing's got to go up. But I just unloaded this thing off the trailer Friday, and it's Sunday. I was actually on vacation and come home just to receive it and unload it, and then went back on vacation, and I just got home and I was taking a look at it, and it's definitely shorter than the 1036F that I've been using. It has several updates I'm going to go over. Like, it has a stainless steel surface here to make it slide, to make the bales slide easier. I noticed they've added some rubber bumpers. They've changed this system right here. This is just a simple spring to move this gate. I'll show you what mine is here in a minute to show you some of the differences. I noticed they've made this arm shorter. They've added lights. They've added this little thing here. I've heard that maybe this is to keep this little short arm from catching under a string of a bale. I think that's what this piece here is for. The gate is completely different. Mine flips down. This one flips up. But yeah, I'm getting ready to put this thing together, and we'll see how it goes. I ain't never put one of these together. Mine was put together when I picked it up. But we'll go out here and look at mine. Is still here. They hadn't put mine away. I'm trading mine in, but Kuhns wanted to make sure that I was completely satisfied with mine, or with the new one, before they took my old one away, because if I don't like it as good, I guess they're going to come get the new one instead. But yeah, this is the old one. It's sitting outside the shop here. You can see this frame is a whole lot beefier, bigger on this one, and it's really unnecessary. They made just a smaller tube frame out of 2x2 heavy wall tubing on the new one, because to make it lighter. Also, this one's a lot longer. See how much distance there is between here and there? It's a whole lot more distance. Mine does not have stainless steel on it. This deck is a lot longer. This is how the gates work on mine. It has these bars here, and then all the mechanism to make them work is a bunch of spring assembly under here. So actually, this is a whole lot, the other is a whole lot simpler than this. You can see that these arms are longer, and they don't have that little hook on it. This gate, it goes down like this, and that actually kind of will drag the hay apart sometimes. So that's why they went with the top gate now. I know where the other one's not raised up yet, you can't see on here, but they removed this box, which everybody likes to call the bird's nest, because that's where all the bird's nest gets built when it's setting still, is in that box, and then it won't work till you clean it out. So anyway, the chute is going to be a lot different. The chute on the new one is going to be an open top. This one is not open, and you cannot get the bales out of it if you have a broken bale. You just have to bale it up until it comes out the top. The new one is all open, so you can pull out the bats of hay if you've got a busted bale in there, or you can get in there and retie it. It's using the same belt system. The belt system here works really good, and they kept all that the same. And what that does is just keeps the hay going into the chute even during sharp turns. So anyway, let's put this thing together. That thing's heavy. All right, so that's the chute. All right, so the next thing we got to do, there's a whole bunch of parts right there on the frame. You can see the new frame here. The next thing I got to do is take these little support braces off, the transport braces, and raise the unit up. And I see the frame right here that swings down and holds it up at the angle that it's supposed to be at. For actually using the thing, because you know this deck has to have an angle on it because gravity is the whole purpose of this machine. You know, it's just the way it works, gravity. Okay, so I got the weight off of it with the forklift, and I got to take these bolts out and get these supports out. So I'm gonna work on that right quick. There we go. So I'm going to raise it on up with the forklift, and this brace here will come down and hook right back where I just took these factory transport pieces out. And yeah, I guess that'll be it for that part. Well, that was easy enough. Now we need to open this right here up, find the directions, and see if I did it right. That'll be my next project. All right. Okay, so I had one shot to get these bolts in there right, and I was just reading the instructions. It said, warning, make sure to put the bolt in from the opposite way I got it in there. So I don't know why, but I'm going to turn them around. It may be because of the shear stress right here is on the threads of the bolt instead of on the shoulder of the bolt. I'm sure that's what it is. And of course I put it in there wrong, so I'm going to switch. Okay, so I really could use some help with this next part, but everybody left, so we're going to see what happens here. Maybe a shit show. Oh. Okay. don't recommend doing that by yourself, because that was kind of strenuous. I'll make sure which way these bolts go in. So they go in from the top. Two sets of holes right there. It goes in the bottom to line the chute up. I think I got the hard part over with, maybe. Two carriage bolts go at the top with nuts, obviously. And the deck isn't up high enough to get it in. So I'm going to have to use the lift to raise the deck up a little bit more. Yes, I know I could have used the forklift to put this chute on, but I didn't. Okay, so I got the chute installed, and now all that's left for that is I got these two wings that go up on top of the chute to help when the bale goes over, to keep it from flopping out one way or the other. That's what those two holes right there are for. I gotta get up there and put those on. And man, this thing is tiny. I want to get it outside and get it beside my other one so you can see the difference. But this thing, it's like a miniature version of what I've got. So my dad's like, I don't see how that thing's going to work, but it's just so small compared to the other one. I mean, it's just, it's small. So, but if it will work as good as the other one, the small size is going to be a whole lot better because it's easier to store. And for two, it's going to be easier to pull behind you in the field and wiggle around between the packs of hay, like on the ends of your rows and stuff. If you drop a pack in the way, should be easier to wiggle around and do all that. From back here, it looks basically the same, but it is noticeably shorter height wise. So it's just we're just gonna have to see how it goes. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I like how it looks. I like that it has signal lights on it, slow moving vehicle symbol. I like all that. I don't know how it's gonna work, but that's what we're gonna find out. Okay, so my camera had a little malfunction. I don't know whether y'all seen me putting those little ear things on up there. These right here, it's just two bolts on each side, and they just help the bale to go over in there instead of falling off one side or the other. Because it goes up, the bale has to go up over this roller and then down the chute. And anyway, I just got done putting those on and tightened everything up, and I think everything with the accumulator is put together now. The next thing I'm going to need is the baler down here, And I think I got to put this new piece right here on the back of my baler. My baler has one on it, but I think this one's a little bit different and it's a little bit updated from what I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it out. So I want to read the instructions on that right quick, and I'll go up and get the baler and bring it down. Okay, so I just wanted to show y'all this thing that goes on the back of the baler right quick. It comes as 3 pieces, and I just stuck the bolts in it, and they're not tight yet. It's 3 bolts on each side, and then it bolts to the back of the baler chute here and here. And the only other thing that come with this is this. Well, you got a belt. This is for the mechanism that keeps the bales in the chute when you turn sharp. I got to put that together. Here's the spring that goes with it also. It also comes with this wiring harness to run on your baler, so you have so you can plug the lights in onto the accumulator, which is a nice feature to have signal lights and brake lights on it for pulling it down the road. So I'm going to put that on too. Right now I'm going to go get the baler. Okay, so this is the old unit that was on the baler, and this is the new unit that's going on the baler. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference in them, which means I'm going to have to change the length of the hitch quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on, and the hitch has to stick out 0 to 2 inches past the end of this thing. So I'm going to work on that. And I'll probably have to drill a new hole in this hitch. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. Okay, so I had to drill a new hole right in between 2 other holes to get this measurement to work out to be 0 to 2 inches. You want this hole here 0 to 2 inches behind this plate. So that's what I'm working on. Oh, and look, they even put a little thing where you can put the wiring harness for the signal lights. They even sent me a cute little hitch pin. Put this. How about that? All right, there we are, hooked up, and now we got to set this angle. We got some different holes. We got to set the angle. This is supposed to hit 8 to 10 inches back up in here if you set a straight edge. So that's what I'm gonna get a straight edge and check that. Looks like I may need to go to the last hole, but I'm not sure yet. All right, so I've got it out of the shop here now, and just the biggest thing I notice about it is it's just tiny. It's just way smaller than the other unit, which is a good thing. The less you have behind your baler, the better for maneuverability. But anyway, I've got the belt. I've got it on, got it set. They send you plenty of extra belts, so You have to cut it off to fit your machine and everything. The instructions are very straightforward about how to do that. It tells you where to set this, leave the spring off, set this right here and this right here 4 to 6 inches apart from each other. I just kind of lined these 2 bars up parallel and just got somebody to hold it. I pulled the belt around, I hooked it in the middle over here. I pulled it around, hooked this to the middle, and then I just held it here and drew a line on the belt, cut it, or I didn't cut it there. I held it there and drilled these 3 holes, and then I cut it off up here. So don't cut it at your first initial line. Then you just drill some holes, 7/16 drill bit to drill these holes, bolt it together, and then you can put your spring on. Another important thing that a lot of people don't know about or miss, or I know I did on the first machine because I didn't really have an instruction book, but this thing here can be adjusted. The tilt can be adjusted. So think about this belt running. If the pulleys were tilted real bad, the belt would just work its way off the pulleys, or if they were tilted this way, the belt would work its way down the pulley. So one thing you want to look at is, are the pulleys lined up with the way the belt is running? And you can adjust that by loosening these 3 bolts here and 3 on the other side, and you can actually tilt these pulleys. And it's very important that you get them tilted to right angle so the belt will stay on it. That was one thing I had a lot of trouble with in the beginning with mine, my old one, is the belt would work its way off over time, but I didn't realize you could adjust that. And then once they told me I could adjust it, and I did adjust it, I've never had any more trouble. I went ahead and I hooked up the lights. I put the light wiring harness on my baler, and it's got a place to bolt it right here, the plug, and then I run the wiring up. Of course, I run it under there and had to leave some slack for the tongue to shift, because this is a New Holland baler and the tongue has to shift. And then of course it plugs into the tractor, and I got nice LED lights back there, brake lights and signal lights. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other unit up here, and I want you to look at them side by side.